In 1980, the Orangewood Children's Foundation set the goal of building the finest emergency shelter in America for the abused and neglected children of Orange County. The Orangewood Children's Home is the result. Every year, Orangewood cares for more than 2,500 abused or neglected children on a campus that looks more like a home than an institution. The children here range in age from infants to teenagers and come from every economic, religious, and ethnic group. The Orangewood Foundation has succeeded in building an emergency shelter that is a model for the rest of the world. Now it's time to take the next step in combating abuse. Orangewood Children's Foundation's goal is to prevent abuse before it starts, to break the cycle of abuse that has held families captive for generations.
It's a beautiful place, isn't it? These large, peaceful trees and these lovely cottages. But what you don't see here is the pain. I'm at the Orangewood Children's Home. This is a place where children of Orange County who have been abused or neglected are brought. Within these walls are kids who have had a tough start in life. We want to tell you about some of them and about how Orangewood Children's Foundation is working hard to change the future for us all.
What's more fragile than a heart of a child, and what's more easily broken? What does more damage to a delicate young personality than the trauma of abuse or neglect?
This is me kicking a rock, and I'm sad.
You're what?
Sad.
How come?
I'm not with my family. I'm not with my family because I'm an Orangewood.
This is the voice of abuse. This young boy has been placed at the Orangewood Children's Home, and although he's been abused, he wants what every child wants, a family.
My mouth is like I'm sad, and it's not smiling, it's like going downward. I'm thinking that I wish I was with my family.
Here at the Orangewood Children's Home, these abuse victims have been asked to make a feeling mask as an art project. It's a mask that expresses a feeling. Sometimes truth is expressed best with a paintbrush or a crayon.
I think it's kind of sad because I miss my mom a lot. I don't know why they took me away from her. I think they stand for sad colors. I think of myself sad all the time.
Last year, more than 36,000 children were reported as abused or neglected in Orange County.
Well, it's a problem that permeates all aspects of our society, not only geographically but financially. It's not isolated to particular poorer pockets of the county. We see it in Orange, we see it in Newport Beach, we see it in Irvine.
90% of those convicted of violent crimes were abused as children.
Our jails are permeated with people that were the victims of child abuse as young individuals, as young adults.
The cost of housing a juvenile in the California Youth Authority is more than $45,000 per year.
I know of families where there's been 3 generations of abuse, only because it's gone unreported. It becomes acceptable.
1 in 3 victims of physical abuse is a child less than 1 year old.
When you see a baby come in that's in a body cast, or you see a 2-month-old who's been molested by her father or his father, it breaks your heart, and you just have a really difficult time handling it. Having been here for 18 years, I have seen a lot of children that have come through. When you see them ending up pregnant and their children coming in, it's real difficult because it feels like we failed them somehow. I took a baby out to visit a mother, and this mother said to me, "You're Sandy, aren't you?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Don't you remember me? I'm Yvonne." This girl now has 6 children here at Orangewood. 3 are her husband's children, the other 3 are her children. She was a very quiet, very naive child who'd been abused. Why couldn't we have offered her some help as she was growing up so that her children didn't end up in Orangewood? What I see is children growing up here and then their children coming into Orangewood. And I'm sure that their children will come into Orangewood unless we can stop that cycle.
The abused become the abusers, inflicting the pain of their childhood on the next generation. And so the cycle continues.
This is me on the grass with flowers, and there's a sun, and there's clouds, and I did different color flowers, and I'm sad because I miss my mom. I have tears dropping down, and I have a sad face right there. I cry sometimes because I miss my family.
The goal of the Orangewood Children's Foundation is to eliminate child abuse and neglect in Orange County.
It is estimated that 1 in 4 children is a victim of child abuse.
Got to stop the child abuse and neglect from happening. We know how to do that.
Child abuse prevention programs can be 95% successful in preventing abuse.
There couldn't be a loftier goal, and there could not be a greater return on our investment. Healthy children who become tomorrow's adults in Orange County.
Emergency needs of abused, neglected, and abandoned kids have been helped through Orangewood Children's Foundation. But now it's time to stop the abuse before it happens. It's time to keep families together and give kids safe and happy homes.
My mask is happy. It's about your feelings and how you feel. I was picturing myself with my mom, and I was happy and I had joy in me.
Suppose you were standing on the banks of a river when you suddenly saw a small child struggling in the current about to drown. What would you do? I'm sure you wouldn't hesitate. You'd jump in the water, swim out, and rescue him. But then, what if, as soon as you got back to shore, you saw another child floating down the river, and then another, and they just kept coming? What would you do then? Well, you could rescue as many of them as possible, or you could go upstream and stop whatever it is that's causing these children to fall in the river. Orangewood Children's Foundation is doing both. Every day, right here, Orangewood Children's Home is housing, educating, and comforting children who are in desperate need. But the Orangewood Foundation doesn't want to be pulling children out of the river forever. We want to solve the problems before they start. We need your help to do it. There are thousands of troubled children and parents in Orange County who need your help now. Orangewood is a place for all of us to be proud, and I hope you can find it in your heart to lend a hand.